thank you. I want to thank you because if you've been listening from Church on Sundays, Selects Church on Sundays 1, Selects Church on Sundays 2, 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? You've been going along? Well, I want to thank you. I want to thank you because I love you. Yeah. Church on Sundays 25. Kind of just a little bit of a milestone for me here. This is something that I'm doing that I'm totally moving forward in faith. I've been on a spiritual journey for a while, and so much was being poured in me at some certain times. It was like buckets, There was something in me a long time ago, and I think it's in a lot of people too that, to let go and let God, but there's a lot of resistance that's going on out there too, and I guess I just made the decision to know that Father knows best, and that to allow him, that he showed me how he used me to say things to people and such, so, and I understood and realized his power because of the supernatural spiritual experiences that I had and the desire that I had, because I wanted to know. I wanted to know for me, because I believed in God, but I didn't believe what everybody else was trying to tell me, whatever versions of what religions that were out there. And I went to a few different ones. I don't know if I'd say a few, but, a few different versions, let's just say. And I wanted to know. I wanted to know for me. I wanted to know the truth for me, because, so I went, so it was a long one. And so, because of that simple desire of wanting to know the truth without anybody else's interference, I went down a path and and so, and it's led to where I'm at right now, part of what's inside of me, and I had to get this stuff out, I just couldn't keep it all up, no, because it's part of who I am to be able to sit here and do this, so this is this has been a big step in faith for me, and I think faith is probably it is the most difficult thing for people to embrace, to have faith, believing in the unseen, driving down that road with the headlights on, not knowing what's going to be there, right? Taking that step down the dark staircase, knowing that each step is going to be kind of sort of lit up along the way till you get to where you're going, right? It's faith. Faith is the most difficult thing for people to embrace. And I think maybe that people don't want to believe in God because it requires them to have faith. And that can be a tall order, so, but anyway, I can only encourage you because glory be the benefits. And the things that I'm telling you and I'm talking about have nothing to do with the religion. It has to do with relationship and faith. And so I want to share just a little bit of a story of faith for me, because here's the thing. It has to be growth for you too. Everything takes work. Olympic athletes don't go and compete. It's years. And I don't mean to say that to discourage you, because it doesn't take years for you to develop self-realization and spiritual voice. What takes years is the refinement of that and continued growth. But once you start getting results, it's just like everything else. When you go to the gym, you start working out, you're like, yeah, and then it gets you rolling, and then you're going, you're working out more, and you push, and you're getting, that's what gets you going. So it's anything in life, it takes work. It's going to take some consistent and persistent of doing the things that I talked about, and they're real easy. But the hardest thing is getting you and your brain and your precog about all of it and getting out of the way and just being consistent with it and find out for yourself. Do this stuff, practice it, and you'll find, I guarantee, and I don't know, and everybody's different. So it's going to say everybody's different. So if you're looking for more meaning, if you're looking for some ground to stand on, whatever it is, that's going to help you. So, church on Sundays 25. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. We're going to keep going for sure. Because there's lots more things that we can talk about, so that's, yeah. So I just want to share a little story of faith with you, and this took... You can't just try to exercise a little bit of faith and think that poof, because nothing's poof and it doesn't poof like that. So many people in the world want everything now and think that it can happen now. That's why the lottery is so successful, because everybody wants it now. They just want to buy a ticket and be a multimillionaire and not have to work anymore. I want it now. So that's just a big fat example right there of I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. Give me your ticket. I want it now. Wow. But it doesn't work that way. Everything takes work. And the statistics is, well, you don't need to get into that. But anyway, so you can't just exercise a little bit of faith and then think that you're going to have a big result, right? You can't just exercise a little and then think, oh, you're going to get rewarded with this. No, you have to keep just like if you're skinny twig, you can't think that you're going to go to the gym for a month and then all of a sudden, boosh, and people buy supplements thinking that it's just going to be the miracle boost that's going to make them boosh. And somebody asked a question one time. I was in this group kind of studying and, talking about some lady who had stage 4 cancer, and do you think that if she prayed for God to heal her, if God would just do it? Well, see, it doesn't work that way. I think faith is very integral in things happening sometimes. And I think for the most part, there's some things out there that happen there too, just to inspire people for faith too. But to think that you can just ask one time for something and all of a sudden we're going to make a magic wand and poof. No. So could it happen that well, it could possibly, but how long has that lady been exercising her faith completely in her life too? Seriously. How long has her think, feel, and believe, which is another set of videos that's out there. Think, feel, select, think, feel, and believe. 1, 2, well, the same as this one. Think, feel, and believe. There's some power out there for you. Yeah, go think, feel, and believe. Go look for them. Yeah. So, you can't just step off. You can't just exercise a little bit, step off and exercise a little bit of faith and think that it's going to happen. All right, you can't just ask your spirit voice and think that all of a sudden, poof, that's going to become clear as a bell too. Sometimes in a time of great need, yeah. But again, it's about listening. It's your ability to listen. Okay, so I'm going to share a little story with you that really touched my heart. Just another one that touched my heart. I mean, even the little silly little toilet paper one. If I hadn't listened, right? I mean, just simple thing. The car wash story. In that, if I hadn't listened, with the toilet paper thing, if I hadn't listened, right? If I hadn't listened, you got to be in tune to listening to that voice and getting rid of the cluster that's going on out there that is achieved partially through meditation, getting rid of the cluster, being able to define and listen to that voice, because I'm telling you, man, there is great power in it. For sure. So one day, my daughter, she was going on a field trip down with her school to the zoo. And she's going down there to the zoo and everything. And I'm thinking, I didn't know. Well, it was like school day zoo, right? So I had no idea. I didn't follow their bus. I'm driving down there. She didn't have a cell phone, right? And she didn't have a cell phone. I drive down. I get to the parking lot at the Denver Zoo. I go to drive in, and there's 40 buses in there. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh no. I could spend the whole day looking for, oh no. So what do? I immediately, and this video is going to be just a little bit longer, but it's worth it. Okay. So I'm like, oh no, oh my gosh, oh no, I could be looking for her all day. And so what did I do? I turned to faith. And, I've been strengthening my faith for a long time, and I had absolutely no idea that this was going to work. I knew that God had the power to be able to do something like this. I believed wholeheartedly in that moment that God had the strength and the power to be able to guide me in a particular moment that I needed it. And I believe that God could do it. And I believe that God could do a lot of things, but I don't think, and I'm still praying for some things that I don't think my faith is strong enough. That's why I'm not getting the result that I want, because my faith isn't strong enough. It has to deal with me, not God. You don't get to point the finger at God because there's some threes. What are you pointing back at you? So I go in there, I'm walking to the zoo, and I'm just, God, dear Heavenly Father, please help me find Marlia. Dear Heavenly Father, please help me find my daughter, right? And so I walk into the zoo, and I'm saying, dear Heavenly Father, just guide me. So I went and I turned, and I went down this path, and I turned right. And I started walking down this path, and the voice again, the Marquis says, you need to turn around and go the other way because you're going in the wrong direction. Okay, so I turn around and I start walking the other direction, and it's like I'm leaving my mind as a complete chalkboard. I'm trying to push thought out, so to speak. I'm trying to push thought out, and I'm not. I'm just waiting. It's a form of patience, so to speak. I'm pushing thought out, and I'm just letting God, and I'm walking in faith. I'm actually taking steps in faith. And then, I'm walking along, and I hear this, Dad, and I'm like, how many times you hear Dad, and I turned, and there was like, I was going this way, and there's another path, and I turned and I look up that path. Guess who was there? Some of you people know how big the Denver Zoo is, all right? It's a pretty big place. I could have went that way and walked around that entire zoo. Seriously, you need to turn around and go the other way, go the other direction because you're going the wrong way. And I'm okay, so I turn and I go the other way. How many people have that kind of thing happen to them, and then they don't listen, and they keep walking, and they keep wandering, and I wasn't in that zoo for more than, I don't know, let's just call it 10 minutes, and I found her, and then I got to spend the day at the zoo with my daughter that day, and instead of walking around for 2 hours looking for her, so the blessings are there. And so I just want to share that with you. I hope you enjoyed Church on Sunday 25. Yay!